people are acting on a whole nother level on that. So yeah, we just see that karma train coming through. Choo-choo. Mood of the day. Really? You gotta give us more credit than that. Some people, buckle up, buttercup. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Welcome back, everyone, to Mona's Take. I am your host, Mona Rose, and we are here to talk about everything reality TV. If you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss anything I have coming up. Overnight feeds, Big Brother, still a lot of game talk going on. I'm going to apologize up front if you hear my washer and dryer going. I'm trying to do laundry and this mic picks up everything. So I will apologize in advance for that. Alright, let's get right back into it where I left off. Monty is the HOH. The nominees are Alyssa and Indy. Kyle and Daniel won the power of veto. And this is where we stand at the moment. So, the girls are totally imploding. Jasmine is pissed at Alyssa because she thinks Alyssa told people about her nail business. Brittany comes in the room and Jasmine says, "Did you know about my business?" And Brittany's like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." And she goes, "Yeah, you know about my business. I have a much bigger business than what I portrayed." And she tells Brittany about it. And it's Brittany and Indy in there. And so Brittany's like, "No, I didn't have a clue." So she leaves. Well, Jasmine goes and confronts Kyle and says, "I know that you told Brittany about my business, and I know that Alyssa told you." And it caught Kyle off guard for the first time. He really didn't know what to say. Jasmine said, "I know it was either Amira or Alyssa." So Kyle didn't know what to say in the moment, and so he just didn't say anything, which led Jasmine to the conclusion that it was Alyssa that was spilling the beans. So she's telling everybody now that she doesn't trust Alyssa. Alyssa's got a big mouth. At the same time, Kyle is talking to Brittany and says, is this what happened? And Brittany's like, "No, I did not tell her that." She said, "She is lying." She said, "I don't know if she's fishing for information or what." She said, "But I walked in the room and Jasmine asked me if I knew about her business and I told her no. And Jasmine's the one that told me." And Kyle's like, "Well, don't worry about it. They're just trying to cause some conflict, within us. Don't worry about it." But it pissed Brittany off. She says, "I don't know why they're trying to drag me into their crap. I'm not part of it. They never wanted me to be a part of the girls. So why are they dragging me into this crap now?" Kyle tells Daniel about Jasmine confronting him. Daniel says that Brittany is a constant source of misinformation, that you can't believe anything Brittany says. So they're all on the Brittany train again. Like I said, they think Taylor's going home this week at this moment, so they're bashing Brittany. Monty, Kyle, and Daniel meet, and they agree that the plan is to backdoor Taylor. Of course, Kyle and Monty know that it's not, but Daniel's in the room, so they have to save face. So yeah, the plan is still in place. We're going to backdoor Taylor. We're going to get Taylor out of here, and we're going to be done. Then something shifts. And I'm not sure if it's just Nicole's paranoia that got to Daniel. But now he's trying to figure out how to keep her off the block. So he's like, "I've got to convince Kyle not to use the veto. And then we send Indy home." That's their plan. So Daniel is seen talking to Kyle. He is trying to convince him not really trying to convince him. What he says is that if he refuses to use it and Kyle uses it, that they can only remove one house guest. So they're speculating that if only one of them wants to use it and the other one doesn't, then they only replace one nominee, and then that way they could replace the nominee with Taylor. So then we see a conversation between Nicole and Daniel. And oh my God, Daniel, I just have to tell you, this has been weighing on me. I just have to come clean. But Amira was putting a lot of seeds in my head about you. She was telling me that I couldn't trust you, that you were working with the boys. And I just have to come clean and let you know that I'm sorry I ever doubted you. Give me a break. The next conversation that we see is between Indy and Jasmine. Jasmine tells Indy that there's so much shit that Alyssa has done that now they don't trust Alyssa. And what's funny is, while they're talking, Alyssa tries to come in the room. And Jasmine says, "Can you give us a minute?" So Alyssa's like, "What the hell? These are my two best friends in the whole game. And we've been talking game this whole time. And they don't want me in the room? They must be talking about me." And then Alyssa is seen talking to, I believe it was Kyle. And she said, "Oh my God, Jasmine is just doing the most to piss me off right now." She said, "She is so infuriating." She said, "She's laying up in my bed." Now remember, Jasmine's a have-not. So during the day, she's been going and getting in Alyssa's bed. And she said, "She's laying in my bed, underneath my sheets. She hasn't showered in 3 days. She's eating in my bed. I can do nothing but sit on the end of the bed. And I made the statement that I would like to lay down, that I was tired. And Jasmine told me, 'Oh, well, eventually I'll get up and then you can lay down.'" So Jasmine is in her bed, but telling her, "When I'm done with it, you can have it back," basically. Like I said, the girls are imploding. They're starting to turn on each other. Kyle and Joseph talk about the girls imploding. And they talk about how they feel bad for Alyssa because she's taking the heat for what Amira did. Amira's the one that told people about Jasmine's business. It wasn't Alyssa. But just like Brittany's taking the heat for the vote, Alyssa's taking the heat for the crap that Amira told everyone. Jasmine and Monty talk. And Jasmine tells Monty that she just caught Nicole in a lie. She said, "I'm done with her. I'm not messing with her anymore." She said, Jasmine said, "You know I know who all was in the Post-Pac Alliance. You told me." She said, "But I acted dumb. And I told Nicole that I had no idea who all was in this and I was trying to figure it out." And Nicole said, "Oh, I'm trying to figure it out too. I don't know who all it could be. This is crazy." She said, "So she just blatantly lied in my face. And so now I don't trust her a bit. I want her gone." The girls, this is why a girls' alliance will never, ever work. Because women are catty. I'm a woman. I know it. I'm vindictive when you wrong me. Sometimes I'm paranoid with my friends. It's like, "Oh, are you talking about me?" Whatever. It's insecurities within me. So I don't think that a woman's alliance will ever work because the girls will turn on each other. Just give them time. Little things are going to start pissing them off and little comments are going to be made. And you know, in the Big Brother house, the smallest little comment can send you out the door. Oh. Nicole questions Terrance, and she's like, "There's a lot going on. I don't know. I feel like I'm going on." She's telling everybody that will listen that she's going on the block and she's going out the door this week. She just feels it. And Terrance said, "Well, you know, if there's a plan in place, there's an awful lot of game talk, or there's an awful lot of talking still going on for there to be a plan in place. If there's a plan in place and everybody's set on it, why are they having all these behind closed door meetings and this one's talking to that one and this one's talking to that one?" It's like, if you have a plan, there shouldn't be any of that. Now, I don't know what to think about Terrance because depending on who he's talking to, he says something totally different. So I'm not really sure at this point where he stands in the game. He does say that Nicole and Daniel have been up his butt and been guard dogs with him. And he says, don't get me twisted. I'm not going to forget that one of you voted me out last week and the other just gave me a sympathy vote. It's like, so I'm going to continue putting on this facade, but don't think I trust him in a bit. He's telling Monty and Joseph not to trust him, that this is sketchy and that's sketchy. He's telling Taylor the same thing, but when he was with Daniel and Nicole, he's telling them something else is going on, something doesn't seem right, there's too much talking going on. I don't know where he stands. She tells Terrence about all of this. And Terrence says, well, I don't know why you're questioning me because they don't tell me anything. You know they don't talk to me. And she said, yeah, she said, the thought of you going home and how close we were, and it exposed my game, and now we're at the bottom of the pack. I did that for you. I did that for you. And it exposed my game, unfortunately. She is just too much. Nicole tells him that Jasmine lied right to her face. Now remember, I just said Jasmine said the same thing about Nicole. And Nicole says, Jasmine lied to my face. And Daniel says, yeah, and I'm working on a plan. Daniel says he has to figure out a way for Kyle not to use the veto. Nicole said, it's a done deal. If I go on the block, I'm going home. And then Nicole says, I'm just tired of all the lies. Yes, Nicole says, I'm just tired of all the lies. Ironic, huh? Then she tells him that she joined PostPac to protect them, Daniel and Terrence. She said, the only reason I joined that alliance was to protect y'all. So I could get information and I could protect y'all. No, you joined that alliance for yourself. You are all about me, myself, and I. And the way she's trying to sell this shit, you can look at her and tell that it's not sincere. I'm sorry. So Terrence tells her that he's going to go talk to Taylor and see if Taylor will tell him anything. I think he was just trying to get away from Nicole, and he knew that Nicole wouldn't come over there messing around where Taylor was. So he went and laid in the hammock with Taylor. He tells Taylor that Amira had a number one. That, yeah, she was the head of it, but she had to have had a number one, if not a number two as well. So they need to find out who that number one was. They think the number one was Nicole, and that Jasmine was the number two. Terrence tells her that if everything is still the same as it was with Amira, then they can still feel the same way about Nicole. Terrence is catching on. The next conversation is between Daniel and Kyle. This is where Daniel starts trying to put his plan in place. He tells Kyle, did you see how pissed Joseph and Monty were that we won? And Kyle's like, no, I didn't notice. Yeah, they were really pissed that we won. Dude, I think we were the backdoor plan. I think we were going up and one of us was going home. And Kyle said, really? No way, man. Well, it's a good thing we won the veto. And Daniel says, and I think Taylor's with them. I think Taylor's working with Monty and Joseph because she's hanging out in the HOH room. She's way too comfortable. Kyle said, no way. After the way Monty did her, no way. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what's going on. Kyle walks off and Daniel says to the camera, stay tuned for tonight. I have to make him think that it's his idea not to use the veto. Stay tuned. You think you're playing somebody, they playing you, dude. Michael checks in with Monty and said that Jasmine pulled him into a convo about PostPac, and that he was honest with her because he thinks that she already knew the information anyway. He says Nicole doesn't want to go on the block now. She feels like she's a target. She feels the house has shifted. And Monty says, well, that's even a bigger reason to put her on the block, because then everybody's going to say, why didn't you want to go on the block? Why are you protecting Taylor? Nicole. Nicole says she's happy with who she's been in this game, and that she can hold her head high, that she has no regrets and nothing to feel sorry about. She said there's nothing to be guilty about, that she's going to be guilt-free. And then it goes to the backyard. You have Jasmine, the chairs are lined up. You have Jasmine in one lounge, Joseph in another. Kyle's sitting in front of them on one of those little beach chair things. And then Turner's on another one. So they're in like a little circle. And Turner, Joseph, and Kyle are playing this game where you can't click your hand one way and move it the other way or something. Coordination games. Kyle gets excited and jumps up. I've watched this and replayed it and replayed it and replayed it. Jasmine acts like he hits her foot. I don't think he hit her foot. I think she jerked it back for the drama. But regardless, she says that Kyle hit her foot. She needs ice. Like, oh my God, we're going to have another 4 weeks of her hopping around on one foot. And she keeps telling him, oh. And they're like, I'm sorry, Jazz. It's all right. It's going down. All right, so Nicole's talking to Michael. And she tells him that her plan is, if they go on the block and Taylor goes out the door, that she's going to join Michael and Brittany so that she can get Brittany out of that duo. Now, number one, why would you tell Michael this? Michael picked Brittany. Brittany didn't pick Michael. Michael picked Brittany for that duo. And you're going to tell Michael that you're going to join his group so you can get Brittany out? Come on, girl. She's losing it. And she's talking to too many people and saying two different things. And people are starting to compare notes. And nobody in that house other than Daniel right now trusts her. Nobody. And then Nicole goes upstairs. Well, first Michael says, well, you need to talk to Brittany. And Nicole said, well, that's going to be a weird conversation because I don't talk to her. And then all of a sudden, when I'm on the line, then I'm going to go up and start talking to her. It's just going to seem fake. Well, as soon as she gets those words out of her mouth, Michael gets up to go do something, and she goes right upstairs to talk to Brittany. And I want to say Brittany held her own in this conversation. I hung on every word. Nicole tells Brittany, or asks Brittany, if it would be all right if she stays in the house if she joins her and Michael. And Brittany says, yeah, but I'm kind of curious as to your reasoning. And Nicole says she's closest to Michael and feels that they could be a force to be reckoned with. And then Nicole asked her what her reasoning was for the vote, to vote Amira out. And she tells her the whole Popax thing. You know, she said, I got it 15 minutes before the vote. I had to make a quick decision. Even in the, when I was voting her out, that Julie kept saying, you have to vote, Brittany. I need a vote. You need to vote. Which didn't happen, but that's what Brittany's telling everybody. And so Nicole skirts around that whole post-PAC alliance thing. Doesn't even address it. She starts talking in circles about other stuff. And Nicole actually told her that she's not fake. And if I don't click with someone, I just don't talk to them. I just don't hang out with them. And I'm not going to befriend them just for a game. I mean, that's kind of why you and I don't see eye to eye. We don't click. You're asking this girl to join a pair, a duo, and you're telling her to her face that you don't click with her and that you're not going to be her friend. And I think she thought that Brittany would just be like, not say anything back. Brittany tells her that there was one time last week before Amira went home, right before Nicole decided that she was going to go tell Terrence that he was going home and say goodbye to him in a proper way, that she just thought it was fair. Well, it was Indy and Jasmine and Alyssa and Amira and Brittany in there with Nicole. So Brittany says as soon as you walked out the door that Amira instructed the others not to trust you. She's like, do not trust her anymore. Do not talk game with her at all. None. We can't trust her. And Nicole said, well, why didn't anybody tell me? Brittany said, well, you and I didn't have that kind of relationship. We didn't talk, so I didn't think I needed to tell you. Wasn't my place to tell you. And then she says, you and I don't talk game, so what was the point of me telling you anything? And Nicole said, why didn't somebody else tell me? And Brittany said, oh, I don't know, that's not for me to say. I'm still laughing about this conversation because Brittany was calm, didn't get mad, didn't get irritated, didn't let it show, but she put Nicole in her place. Brittany says the plan for Amira was to join me and Michael. You know that, right? She's like, no, I didn't know that. She's like, yeah. She was going to join me and Michael and ice me out. And if that's what this is, then we need to rethink it because I don't want any part of that. Now, Nicole just told Michael in the backyard that that's exactly what he was going to do. She wanted to join them so they could get Brittany out. And Nicole said, no, I would never do that. Never do that to you. But that's exactly what she had planned. She calls Brittany emotional. And she says, well, you are emotional and everything. And I've been wanting to talk to you, but I needed some time after the vote. And then yesterday you were having a bad day. And, I just didn't want to lay anything else on you. And she said, and I know you're emotional. And Brittany said, you're correct. I'm an emotional person. I'm an empathetic person. I feel for other people. She said, but don't get it wrong. I'm an emotional person, but I'm not an emotional player. Everything that she's heard Nicole say about her, she threw right back in her face, but did it in the nicest way that I've ever seen it done. All right, so the leftovers minus Turner are in the living room playing Chinese checkers, I think. Turner, Indy, Jasmine, and Terrence are in the backyard. And they're just talking, and somehow the conversation comes up about what they do for a living. And Turner said something about Jasmine and said, go ahead and say what you say. And Jasmine said, I will if you will. And Turner said, all right, because I'm really tired of not talking about it, and I think it's stupid that it's even an issue. But I own a thrift store and art studio and a rug store. He's like, I am an artist. I do make rugs. But I have a very successful thrift store in Boston. And they're like, really? And so they start talking about that. And he tells them what all he carries in the store, all that stuff. And Jasmine said, all right, Well, I own my own business too. I have a press-on nail business that I own in Atlanta, and it actually does very well. And so they start talking about that. Then Nicole comes out, and she's like, what's going on? So they told her the whole thing. And as they're talking, Jasmine's like, well, I have one more thing that I left out. And they're like, what is that? And she said, I'm a very successful influencer. I'm an influencer for a lot of major brands, and I do very well at it. And Nicole just can't stand it that the spotlight is on somebody else. So she says, well, I have a secret too. I am a chef. That is what I do now, but that's not what I've done most of my life. But I can't talk about it right now. And they're like, why not? Why can't you talk about it right now? Well, I can't talk about it on the live feeds. Girl, you done talked about it on the live feeds. You done told Daniel. You done told Terrence. I believe she told Jasmine. I know she told Amira. But she can't talk about it on the live feeds. She has to wait until they're in lockdown, and then she can tell them all about it. Girl, please. And it's not a big deal that you were a cop for 10 years. So what? Does anybody know what a cop makes? I do, because my sister is one. And I know she doesn't make a lot of money. I mean, come on. She just had to insert herself into that conversation. And then they start talking about last season. And I don't remember, I didn't write down verbatim what was said. But basically, Jasmine said that last season was, and she kind of paused, and Nicole said monumental, and she said, yeah, but it was kind of monotone. It was kind of boring. I mean, they didn't have us there. I mean, look, they didn't have somebody break an ankle in the first week and pass out in the second week. And oh yeah, wait, that was all me, but they didn't have us. It was a very boring season. I'm like, are you kidding me? I can't wait till Tiffany or Chada or any of those cookout members that are on Twitter. I haven't looked this morning, but I'm sure they're going to catch wind of this and they're going to be all over it. She said, they're probably jealous of all of us because they don't have us. They're probably jealous of our season. Bitch, please. The only thing that has made your season worthwhile is when the leftovers formed and took out Amira. The rest of it is crap. Later on, Indy and Jasmine talk in the Have Not room, and they talk about not changing their relationship with Nicole and Alyssa, that they got to make them think that everything's okay, that they don't trust them, and Jasmine said, yeah, you got to talk to Monty and get this thing to work out with me and you, and him and Joseph and Terrence starting this alliance. You need to make sure that that gets into kick, and we're going to kick them to the curb, but we can't act like we're going to kick them to the curb. We still have to be nice, and we still have to act like nothing's wrong. Alyssa, honey, you are making a fool out of yourself. She is all over Kyle. At one point, I don't know if they went into the room together or what, but they were both in Kyle's bedroom. And she's like rubbing on him and trying to kiss on him, and he keeps standing up and pulling away and telling her, no, 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 this is not happening. I told you this isn't happening. And she's like, oh, come on, just sit down with me. Just sit down with me. And he's like, no, 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 I can't sit down. I'm not that strong. No, no, no. He literally has to take her and put her in her bedroom and be like, good night. This isn't happening. Oh, honey. So, let me know what you think in the comments below. I am going to wait until they do the renom, and then I'll come back on and add this to the end of this video. And then I'll post it. That way you guys know who the renom was for today. Unless it's too late, I may go ahead and just post this and do another video. But let me know what you guys think in the comments about everything that's going on. Who's your pick? What do you want to see? I, for one, would love, love, love for Daniel to be the one to take them off the block. And Nicole be the one to go on the block and go out the door. I would love to see the happiness on Taylor's face. Because I think once Nicole's gone, Daniel's dead in the water. He has absolutely no one. So he'll probably be the next one to go. But we'll see how that goes. And as always, you guys have a great day and much love.